Good morning, traders. This is today's Traders Daily Discipline. It is Wednesday, the 3rd of December, as we're getting rolling on the last month of the year. It's going to be an interesting next couple of weeks, I think. A lot of changes happening in Washington, a lot of fundamentals coming together. End of the year, people want to book what they got to book. It's called window dressing. Got to get that multi-million-dollar paycheck for sitting on my ass. Anyway. Well, here is today's quote to get us started, and I thought this was kind of an interesting way to put it. It's hard to fight an enemy who has outposts in your head. And that was from Sally Kempton. Sally, for those of you that don't know, she was author, hardcore feminist. Um, Basically, well, she also was a Hindu, what do they call them, Shwarmis? One of those dudes. I don't know, it seems to me like a very confused individual, but at the same time, did say some intriguing things. This is one of them. It's hard to fight an enemy who has outposts in your head. Really think about this, traders, when you stop to consider how your account balance changes. Our account balances change based on when we enter the market and when we exit the market. Those two events, we create the urge to action inside our own head. We decide when it's time to buy or sell for an entry, and we determine when it's time to liquidate. Nobody else does that for us. We do that. Now, we may have a lot of confusion going on inside our head as to how that occurs, and you may lean very heavily on things like tools, analysis, market data, fundamentals, whatever. You may lean very heavily on it, and you may think that that has something to do with your decision, but really the bottom line is if you have a position on this winning, you're afraid of giving it back, and you think it's going to run, you're afraid of making a profit out of it that's smaller, and you don't know how far it's going to go, so you're hesitant to keep it on. When you have a trade on that's losing and it hasn't hit your stop yet, you're not looking at that from a standpoint, well, maybe I have an opportunity to cut a loss and get out a little earlier. You're looking at it from a standpoint, well, I hope it comes back. Maybe it'll turn around, right? All of those things are normal and natural for 99% of the people doing this. But for that percentage that has learned how to make money doing this consistently, day in and day out, week in and week out, those things don't exist in their heads anymore. Those are your enemies. Those emotional froth that's there when you trade. Those thought processes that have to do with what ifs, maybe, should, shouldn't, must, can't. That must happen, that can't happen, that should happen, that shouldn't happen. Right? All of that, those are the enemies inside your head. And why are they there? Because they're part of the real world paradigm. That's how you get through the rest of your day. That's how you decide to turn left or turn right at an intersection. You have to have a dialogue going on in your mind that has to do with positioning yourself for a gain or reducing a potential negative or evil that might happen in your life. That's the normal, natural, real world paradigm. What I teach in my Psychology of Trading course and in all of my content at Net Winning Trader is that the real world paradigm is not compatible with making money in the markets. You need a trading paradigm, not a real world paradigm, a trading paradigm. You have to create a paradigm shift in your head in order for you to see what really has to happen for you to win. Learning how to do that is the work, right? And what's getting in the way is all the crap that's in your head from when you were a little kid on up to when you're an adult, all the way through education and training and teaching and religious instruction and learning to do this and learning to do that and dealing with evil people, dealing with good people and crappy bosses and good bosses and all that kind of stuff. Whatever's boiling around in your head as quote unquote my normal, most of that that's in their head is defeatist. It's the enemy that is in your mind. If you want to win at this, really win, consistently win, win big, make more money doing this than anything else you've ever done, If you'd like to reach those levels, they're absolutely 100% attainable. You can learn to do it. Anyone could learn to do it, in my opinion. But the difference between you and me doing it and anyone doing it is our willingness to let the old pass away and let the new show up. We don't want to do that. Some people really honestly believe this, that if they change the way they think about the markets, they're going to lose something about themselves in the process. Like when we talk about disciplining emotions, when I first heard that word, what I heard in my head was eliminate emotion. And I didn't want to eliminate my emotions. I didn't want to be a trading robot. So I had to learn and understand what that meant to discipline your emotions. So when it comes time to sit down and ask yourself, how do I take this next move to the next step here? It's hard to fight an enemy who has outposts in your head. Your head is the battleground. You've got to figure out what it is that's holding you back, and you've got to confront it, and you've got to have a tool set to eliminate its control on your behavior, because your behavior is the only thing that matters. You decide where to buy and where to sell. You decide where to enter and when to liquidate. Since you're making that choice, and it's all based on how you see things, the closer the way you see things is the actual underlying structure of the market you're trading, the more likely you are to make money doing this. And that behavior is within your control. Some people find it's a little radical when I say this, but it is totally true. You have more control over the balance in your trading account than you probably do with anything else in your life. You can't control what other people do. You can't control what your kids think or do. You can't control what your boss does or what happens at work or school. You can't control crossing the street when someone's going to run the red light. You can't control anything in your life. You can't control what a spouse is going to do, what they're going to think, who's going to break in and steal your shit. You know what I mean? You can't control anything except your account balance, because you can decide when to buy or sell. You decide that. So you have full control over your account balance. It's not the markets anymore, it's you. So what has to happen so that that full control is fully actualized in a new market paradigm? Because that's where the money is. The battle for the money is inside your head. Okay, guys, I'll let you go. Have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow on Thursday. Thanks.